All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Sportsmen. Sorry about last week, but we did a live. Don't know if you caught that, but here we are. We got the Jet, we've got Joey D. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
We're good. Super Bowl week, man. You excited, Pop? Or
Um, I'm
nervous?
I'm I'm very excited. I think we're gonna do it. I think this is our
Oh,
year.
Thinks?
I
no.
think yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna do
my
it.
Famous
Yeah.
last
God.
words.
This is the
Uh,
first time I've ever seen any inclination of excitement from Ticket when it comes
he
to the
thinks he
Eagles.
thinks he thinks they're gonna do it till they go 3-and-out in the first drive, and then he's like, "Oh they doing it again.
They're going to score a field goal on the first drive, and you're going to be like, that's it. We
We
lost.
need points. We're playing Patrick Mahomes. We need points."
You have
I
to admit,
don't.
though, on paper, they're a better team. They're a better team than the Chiefs head to toe. I mean,
I
I
actually heard I think there was a stat line that I heard some like wager guy expert was saying that the last 10 Super Bowls where teams had a bye, playing against a team that didn't have a bye, they're 0-9, the teams that had a bye, which is a very good stat line for you. The only team that covered in the last 10 Super Bowls where it was a situation like that was the Steelers, who beat the Cardinals, and they beat them on the last play of the game. They did not cover.
Where are you digging these? Are you the Elias Sports Bureau? Like, that's the most ridiculous stat I've
I'm
ever
telling you,
heard.
Pop, that's a very good stat line for you.
that's great.
That's a very good stat line.
Makes me
Yeah,
feel better than I already did.
they shouldn't even play the game. Just award it to the Eagles.
You want to crown them? Crown
Crown their ass.
them.
All right, we're going to get into that. But before we do, this is coming out tomorrow, which is the same day of the drinking challenge that you guys did in the Dominican that I've been editing. And so, Jet, you let me know if we need to cut anything out for spoilers. Not that there's terribly large audience here, but the two of
Well,
you
say this.
fucking guys.
Hold on. Say this. If you plan on watching the episode on Bob Does Sports, then just skip a few minutes ahead.
Sure. There you go.
We'll spoil whatever. Yeah.
There is a hole where Joe's pretty drunk at this point. He keeps claiming he's not, but he's obviously drunk. But the sun is
I don't
setting,
know if I was.
and
Yeah.
and nobody can see a goddamn thing. He hits a drive off into the sunset and is just immediately, oh, it's great, it's fantastic, it's a great shot, it's a great shot. And I'm laughing, albeit I am laughing at him directly for a long time. I get it. I'd be upset too. I didn't realize how long I was laughing. But then the two of you guys have the nerve to roll up on me and say, you're taking a lot of liberties. You're taking a lot of liberties.
Is that what we
now,
said?
That's what you said. Yeah. And then Jet goes, yeah, I actually agree with him. You're taking a lot of shots. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I am. But I drive off off to the green to par three pop duties.
This is one of the
And so
last holes,
I
right?
don't, yeah. And so I don't know. I guess, Joe, you did hit a great drive. You guys in the video, you didn't even take your drive. You took FP's drive.
I hit a bomb
Hit
though.
a monster.
I hit a really good drive, but FP hit a
clearly it was-
really good one, and it was more center of the fairway. I did hit a great one.
I do
You
remember
roll up to
hearing
this.
laughing because Pop, you were going, because Cutsy was going off, so you were like, haha. And then we looked at you and you went, haha. And then you kept doing these little ha-has. Like, we all thought it was over, and you were like, It was really funny. I remember it.
Well, I think what happened is initially you were just giving Jet shit all day, which I actually appreciated. But then
That's where the liberties. We had this conversation, Pop. There were a lot of liberties that were taken. You were,
but I wasn't taking shots at you.
No, but you were feeling yourself that whole time, which
Taking
is fine.
shots at everybody.
Exactly. So that's where that liberty.
There's a lot of shots being thrown out. So
we were in the Dominican. I was having fun. I was going
great.
home to a
We were all
hot tub every
having
night.
fun.
I was very relaxed.
I want to go back.
it was so fun, man. Oh my
Yeah, it was a
God.
great trip.
Is the video good?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, it's on the shorter end, but it's very good. It's very good.
The end, I just completely collapsed, man. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just saying I thought I had control until I didn't.
Awesome.
You guys were cruising. You guys were cruising until the Presidentes got involved.
Yeah.
Go check out the episode. It comes out today. But anyway, let's officially get into the Super Bowl here. We talked a little bit about it on the live, but we didn't have Jet. Jet, right now the line's at 1.5. Kansas City's favored. I mean, who do you like in that game? Do you like the Chiefs? Do you like the Eagles? Who are you taking?
I always like the underdog in the Super Bowl. It doesn't really matter the team. I think that when you get to the Super Bowl, it's a toss up, and you can get more money on the underdog. So I always will money line the underdog in the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs will probably win. But you never know. It comes down. This is the type of game they played 2 or 3 years ago. They played each other in the Super Bowl. It came down to the last drive. There was a holding call, and then the Chiefs were going to kick the field goal anyways. But then they ended up getting a last second field goal because they got a new first down on the classic James Bradbury holding. So it's gonna. I would imagine it's a one possession game at the end. And it'll be a lot of fun. And Kendrick Lamar.
Is that
Do you
what
think
you
he's
were
gonna be
asking
good?
me if Bradbury's still on the team the other day? You
Well,
were on the
because
phone. You were like,
well, I asked you that a while. I think I asked you in the minute because I had heard. I'm like I love like random ass little stuff about like little facts. So about sports specifically. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, who made that play? Because I think something happened in sports where somebody made like a boneheaded. Oh, Mark Andrews made that drop, and it just got me thinking. No, I love Mark Andrews, but it got me thinking about. I was like, who made that holding at the end of the Super Bowl
That was tough.
ruined the Super Bowl? And then I looked it up as James Bradbury, and then I asked you, I was like, is he still on the squad? Because I always like wonder what happens after that. Like, do fans give him shit for forever? Were they like, it's cool because it's such a little play?
It was a tough
The
call.
whole game. Yeah, he said after the game it was a holding, but hopefully they can get some revenge here.
I'm really rooting for Pop Eagles. I really am. I want them to win so badly. I think though that I have to take the Chiefs just for my presence of mind. And Pop, I think that you should too. Just a hedge of happiness. And one way or another, you're coming out on top. You're either going to be a Super Bowl champion or you're going to have some extra coins in your pocket at the end of the day. I don't like betting against Mahomes, man, because the guy wins all the fucking time. Like it's just like it's not like it's a new spot for him. Like this guy just does it every time. Now that being said, I will be vehemently rooting for the Eagles. But I do think that the Chiefs unfortunately are going to take it.
Are we
are you
talking
rooting?
prop bet? Can I? Because
I have some
Yeah.
prop bets if you want.
The only thing I was
Throw
going to
'em in.
say, the only thing when it comes to the betting is, and I know now. So obviously we had that bit about the first. Not obviously, but I ran with that first kickoff being a returned until, and that worked for years and years until it became public, and now they just launch it out of the end zone. But and that was the Pat McAfee came on Bob's show and like basically spilled the beans about why it's always returned. But the one I really like for this year, and I haven't even looked at it, is Mahomes rushing yards. This guy, when the playoffs start, when the Super Bowl starts, he becomes a fucking running back sometimes. And they let him run and he takes off when he has to. So whatever the rushing yards is,
I'll tell you right now, it's rushing.
What is it, 26?
It's 25 and 25
Oh
and a
my
half.
God.
Yeah. Minus 167
Good.
though. Minus 167.
I'm good at what I do. But yeah, no. So, okay. So you're right. Minus 167 is not really a even thing. So, but I would take that for sure. Because
you could take 40 plus at plus 155.
Yeah. So something like that, I would hit for sure.
I have a couple that I like. First and foremost, this is what I will be taking.
The color of the Gatorade.
I will be hammering the under. I will be hammering the under. 48 and a half. That's my game of the week. That's my play of the week. I don't want to touch teams. Like I said, if I had to take a team, I would take the Chiefs money line. I am going to be taking the under. That is a play that I'm going to be taking. Now, for props, I love an anytime touchdown by Jalen Hurts at minus 110. Everybody and their mother is going to be all over Saquon Barkley. Minus 110, that's it.
Wow.
An anytime touchdown for Saquon is minus 195.
What's two? What's two? What's two touchdowns?
Plus 285.
Give me that.
That's what you like.
Give me that. Okay. I love it.
But I'm saying with the amount of times that you get the tush push or you get Jalen Hurts scrambling when they're down in the red zone, I do love him to get it. He got 3 last game. He got 3 touchdowns, minus 110. That's hardly any juice. I'm going to take that. And I also love passing props. I love Mahomes completions because here's the thing. The Eagles try to diminish the long play, like the big ball deep downfield. If you look at, I think the last week, I think Jaden Daniels had 7 or 8 completions on the first drive alone. There's going to be a lot of dinking and a lot of dunking, and I think there's going to be a lot of small passes throughout. So Mahomes completions, I love at 24. It's minus 133. I love that play as well. So those are a couple props bets I like a lot. And you know what I like? If you really like to get a little dicey with it. The tails never fails. Coin toss.
You're
Is there a
absolutely a
prop?
coin toss guy, aren't you, Jack? You've bet on the coin toss.
You just
No,
you get going from the get-go. That's the
It
fun.
true.
is
It is
fun.
fun.
I like unders also in Super Bowls, especially first quarter, first half. Teams always come out a little rusty. So always they've had to buy. Is there a prop for times Jalen Hurts sits in the pocket for 10 seconds, then scrambles and throws the ball into the 8th row out of bounds? Because I'd take the over on that.
I don't know if there are. I do love in the Super Bowl though. I think it makes it fun if you put in like some, like how long is the anthem going for, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because it
those are
makes
fun
the
to get
whole.
goofy with.
It's the only time that I'll do anything like that because it makes it fun. Like while you're getting ready to watch the Super Bowl or the halftime show or whatever, it really makes
Sure.
the whole thing like
The
something
first
that you can
song
watch.
for who's the halftime show guy? Who is it?
Kendrick
It's
Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. They not like
Okay.
us. They not like us.
Okay. Is that
They not
going
like
for
us.
first song? Is that up there? That
I could
favorite?
take a look. Let me see here.
I can't imagine that would be the first song.
Trending
put
specials.
Put Squabble. Put Squabble on my card.
No chance, dude. He's gonna come out with like
What was his big
what's the
song?
song
He
where
had
he goes
before?
like, "Hold up, drank." He's gonna hit that one.
Oh, swimming pools.
That was called
yeah.
swimming pool. Yeah, he's
Pools,
gonna hit
yeah.
that one. But
Yeah.
you heard it here first. It's gonna be real
Sure.
quiet. It's gonna be real dark, and then one spotlight pops on Kendrick Lamar.
Sometimes they tease you too. Like they'll do 2 seconds
No.
of a song,
Rihanna.
and then he'll actually roll into another song. Yeah, Rihanna, exactly.
Remember when Lady Gaga jumped out of the stadium or something?
Yeah,
Remember that
sure.
I saw Kendrick Lamar in concert years ago in Switzerland, and he was awesome. So hopefully he puts on another performance. There's so much weed being smoked at that concert. It was out of control. And he asked everybody, like, you having a good time? And the Swiss were like kind of like reserved. They didn't say much. And he's like, I'll walk my black ass off this stage right now if you don't get more hyped up. And then the crowd went nuts and shit just popped off. The guy's a G, man. He really is.
Sure.
You just won a Grammy.
He won 5.
Did you see that Shabuzi, who was everywhere this year, didn't win a single fucking thing? He didn't win Song of the Year.
Kendrick
I've
Lamar
never
won
heard
5
a song.
Grammys.
I've never heard a song so everywhere. And
But
for him not to
drowned
win?
his sorrows in a double shot of whiskey pop.
Yeah, I bet he did. I bet he did. Saw that coming. I just teed you up right there. That was the easiest one you'll have all day.
Boom! Yeah. That was my favorite bit when they like Shabuzi's performing at halftime and everybody's like, what song is he gonna sing?
Pop, you're taking the Saquon 2 touchdown prop?
I want the Saquon 2 touchdown prop. I want Squabble on my card as well as first halftime song. And what's Devonta Smith's receiving yards?
Let me look. Hold on.
Doesn't matter. Give me the under. Give me the under on
The
that.
under.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to guess it's around 65.
Receiving props. Okay. Devonta Smith, 60 yards.
Whoa, the pot.
Give me the under on that. Give me the under on 60 yards. Everything's going to AJ, and we're keeping it on the ground. Everything else is going to the 8th row in the grandstands.
Over, yeah. They go, he doesn't throw any picks. Meanwhile, fans are catching balls left and right. He goes,
Give me the over on grandstands to have 80
how
plus
many
yards.
times will Nick Sirianni go for 2 just to try to cause a false start, just to then go for 2 from the 1?
I'm looking to see the Super Bowl first song, like what the odds are. Because I don't know, Pop, like
He's
you
receiving
like Squabble.
yards?
I don't even know. No, I'm talking about Kendrick Lamar first
Kendrick
song.
Lamar.
Squabble's one of them.
Really? Is swimming pools on there?
Here's
Of
the
course.
top 7 songs that Kendrick Lamar will likely perform. Squabble Up, Humble, All the Stars, DNA, Not Like Us. Swimming Pools is a good one, but that's way back.
What's the favorite, though, Joe? What's got the best?
To.
Or what's
I
got
don't
the
know.
worst
Hold on.
odds? I would bet that Not Like Us or DNA.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man.
What if he
Hold
just
on.
comes out and he sings a Drake song to start? He's just like,
Here's the odds. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. Humble is plus 160.
Humble's a great one.
Not Like Us is plus 380. King Kunta, I don't even know what that is, plus 430. Squabble Up plus 430. DNA plus 500 and ADHD plus 500.
Well, we're gonna find out on Sunday.
Put Squabble Up on my card.
I like that out of you, Pop.
Joe, where are you watching the game?
Probably at home. Um, I really probably not going to do anything crazy with it. Like I get back right before the weekend from Arizona, and then I probably just chill at home and watch the game there. So I don't know if anybody's even going to be home. Jed, if you want to come by, you can come by.
I'm going to New York tomorrow.
Oh, are you? Where are
Oh,
you watching it? You watching it with the
Probably with the fellas.
Shickers?
Yeah.
with the
And
fellas.
then Pop. The problem is everybody's all over the place, so that's why I really haven't made any plans to do anything. I think
Well, I imagine
Stubby's
Bobo's
going.
going to be around.
Stubby's going to the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, of course. No invite, zero invite.
Well, no, he got an invite for a ticket, so I mean,
I would have loved for him to have made a push for an extra. However, I did make it pretty public in the car that I didn't want to go. So
He's dancing. He's one
he
of the
also did make an effort to try to get you to the NFC Championship game, and you didn't.
well, both of us. Whoa, that's not true. I didn't pick up the phone when he called me at 11 at night, and then I called him
Oh,
back
fair.
the next day, and he was
Oh, fair.
hungover and didn't pick up the phone. I tried. I didn't get a hold of him until 2 days later.
That's a hand up for me.
Can you guys stop squabbling up? Let's figure this out.
Very, very good. Okay, let's move on to the NBA. Jet, you also weren't there. We talked pretty quickly about Luka and AD. I want to get your thoughts on that. You've got to have a lot to say.
God.
You must. You must.
So listen, something's weird. That's all I was going to say. And I know it's been a while and things have come out. It actually, if you really do, first of all, the GM of the Mavericks is the biggest me guy I've ever seen in my entire life. Like he made this, all he had to do was get up there and be like, listen, I think that this is the best move for the franchise. This, and this is my move. I care about the Mavericks. I want us to win. And they put me in charge of doing this. And this is my opinion. And I think we have a better chance of winning now. He got up there and like, I don't even know what he was saying. He made no sense. The only reasonable thing I could think is that the new owners of Dallas, once Cuban sold, have no interest in signing Luka to the Supermax because they don't want to pay for it. So they're trying to get rid of him now and get AD, and then they have saved themselves from having to pay Luka Supermax. That's the only, for me, that's the only thing.
But is Mark Cuban not involved at all in any of the affairs anymore?
No,
like he has no say anymore.
He doesn't make the decisions anymore.
I know he sold a majority, but he still has some ownership.
I don't think he does. I think he's involved in basketball ops, but this seemed like it was that was it. Now, Luka Doncic, also the Lakers have this ability to just get stars for decades. So like Luka's the next man up. He's going to lead the Lakers. I felt bad for him. Like he seemed like he loved Dallas. But then if you really look at it, like Dallas they can go win a ship this year. I had forgotten they were in the freaking finals last year, which is
last year.
It's so strange. The whole thing is weird. But you know what? I guess if they really thought that was the move, that was the move. I do think it has a lot to do with the money. You want to say this kid's fucking out of shape and fat and dead. Like he's 25 years old. He gets 38 and 8 every night. If that's out of shape, then like what are we doing?
Bro,
so I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Out of shape. He took you to a final last year.
I don't buy that at all. The thing with the Supermax, I do buy in that they don't want to pay that.
Well, Luka gets screwed now to like $100 to $200 million now because of
that's crazy too.
Is that true? I don't know that part.
Apparently he's not eligible anymore for it because he's on a
no. Because I think if you play so long with a certain team, when you sign the Supermax, you're eligible to make more money. So even if he signs the max deal he can with the Lakers now, it would be like, I think with the Mavericks, it would have been 350 million or something like that. Whereas with the Lakers now, the most he can sign for is like 200 and something. So like he's going to lose out a shit ton of money. Now he's going to be in LA. He's going to get tons of like endorsements and whatnot, being the newest Laker in the face of LA. But like, that sucks, man. You take a team to the championship and you've been hurt, and then all of a sudden you get traded. Like, and you could tell like he was not happy. Like,
and you know what? It's a huge win for NBA players in the sense that, and this has always been happening with trades and stuff, but now they can just point at this and be like, yo, you guys show us no respect. You trade the best player, the top 2 player in the NBA like that. And now when we're free agents, you're going to bitch about us being loyal. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And then they can always point at this and be like, well, you guys are not loyal, so we don't have to be loyal. You guys can steal our Supermax. Like, so I think it's like, it's a big win. I also think that before the deadline, which I think is in a few days or today, I think some crazy shit's about to go.
Well, there's just another trade today.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, right?
Chris Middleton got traded for
Chris Middleton too.
But I think, that's a big change. And then like Kevin Durant might be moved. And like, I think
Well, the
everybody
big one is Jimmy Butler is I don't know if he's
Oh,
going to be
that's a
moving.
whole nother
This
thing.
guy is a problem, bro. He doesn't want to be traded anywhere except for Phoenix, and he's telling all his teams that if they trade him, he will not extend. So you're basically renting a player. So now they're trying to find a way to get Bradley Beal back in the trade. It's a fucking mess.
Jet hates this guy. He hates this guy.
He's but it's not that I'm hate
The
like
aloe athlete.
It's factual. The guy is a team killer. He killed the Bulls, right? He was
that one year he took Miami to the finals single-handedly when they beat Giannis.
It was the COVID year, so it doesn't count. By the way,
the Sixers also never got further than when he was on the team.
Killed the Bulls, right? He broke the Bulls. He went to Minnesota. He cracked that team in half. He went to Philly. He cracked that team in half. Then he went to Miami, and now he wants out of there.
He was good with Miami for many years.
Jimmy Butler's a great player, but he acts like he's Michael Jordan, and in reality, he's Paul George. And it's like, you can't be making these demands like you're some fucking the best. He's a top, what is he? The 15th, 20th best player in the league? It's like, yo, you got to stop acting like you're making all this money. I know you talk about him, Cutsy, a lot, but it's out of hand at this point. And now why are teams a lot? And thankfully, Pat Riley kind of put his foot down and was like, what the fuck? Like, you're suspended. Why does this guy think he's a fucking LeBron James? Like, where is that coming from?
I don't know, but he is a problem. I will agree with you, but I will say he is a playoff. His game goes to the next level. Let me put it to you like this. When we were in Virginia 2 years ago and he took out the Bucks, and he went on he was the best player in the NBA that postseason. He was unbelievable. Right.
And that was a playoffs that was
2 years ago.
Inside of a bubble, okay, is one.
No, it wasn't inside of a bubble. It was 2 years ago.
What, when they beat the Bucks?
Yeah, they beat the Bucks.
Fair enough.
I think they went to the finals too.
Fair enough. But let me say this. You're not winning a championship with Jimmy Butler as your number one guy. It's not happening.
I understand that, but I'm just saying.
So for him to act like he's LeBron James or Luka or fucking, I don't know, anybody who's a top player in the league is not okay in my book. It's just like, yo, grow up.
So there's that trade, and then the other trade was Zach LaVine and then De'Aaron Fox. By the way,
That's a great win for San Antonio.
Oh my God, they now have Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox, and they got a good cast of like a supporting crew. That team could do some. That team could do some damage now. Like that.
De'Aaron Fox is an incredible player who's just been forgotten about because he was playing in Sacramento for the last 6 years. But he's one of the best point guards in the league. I think the world of this guy. And pair him with Wembanyama, dude. San Antonio's a force now.
Have you guys watched Wemby play? I watched him the other day, like because I don't watch a lot of NBA. I had a wager on the Spurs. I had his over points on Wembanyama. This guy hit a turnaround fadeaway from almost half court, and fucking this guy was draining threes from fucking near half point, like half mid range. I was like, oh my God, he is unbelievable.
Not to mention Ginobili and Robert Horry, these guys. I love the Spurs. They were
Tony Parker.
Weren't they so much fun, dude? Back because they were so fun to root for. Dude.
Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard.
They were so
Danny
fun.
Green.
Danny Green was a good one. Yeah.
Tim Duncan.
But I think I will say this on the trade, trade front from the NBA. I will say I think it's good for the NBA because up until now, the NBA has kind of just like, it has been swept under the rug. No one's talking about it. I think that these trades, if anything, it's brought like the NBA to the forefront of like the sports world. And I think you're going to get a lot more people in the next little bit wanting to watch Luka, wanting to watch Anthony Davis with the Mavericks, wanting to watch what happens with Butler. So like for the NBA season, for the course of this season, I think it is very good that you're getting these blockbuster deals because up until recently, no one and their mother was talking about NBA.
Makes you think it might have been a little premeditated. Also, if you don't think Jimmy Butler is going to go to fucking Phoenix and just break that team up, it's called patterns. All right.
Why wouldn't you go to the Warriors though? Like the Warriors want to trade for you. Why not go there?
Because
play with Steph Curry.
He wants to be the guy.
He goes, He goes, which team can I fucking
No, he wants to play with
apart
Durant
the fastest? And it's going to be tough to break. It's going to be tough to break apart the Warriors because Steph is the man there, and he's going to be tough.
Boy, I'm sorry, but the Phoenix Suns have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. You're not going to be the man going to Phoenix.
You go to a team with Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. That team will be fucking falling apart in 6 to 8 months, dude. It'll
Devin
come out.
Booker's game has
Jimmy Butler, dude, in practice. Jimmy Butler told KD he's a bitch. Like, that's all. It's all going to come out.
Would you rather have Jimmy Butler for 1 year, or would you rather have who's like a comparable, like Jaylen Brown?
Oh, Jaylen Brown is actually a better player.
Okay. What about Tyrese Maxey?
Yes,
Tyrese Maxey's too. A better player.
But I'm not.
You think Tyrese Maxey's a better player than Jimmy Butler?
It's not even
at this age. He's younger and he's got more career ahead of him.
I said for 1 year.
Oh, for 1 year, I would probably take Maxey. Yeah,
it's
not okay. Well, then this is making a good case for. Yeah, well, but it is in a way that, like, you're saying that he acts like he's LeBron, and there's 20 guys better than him in the league right now who you'd rather have.
I would take Jimmy Butler over Andrew Wiggins. Like, I mean, like, there's like a guy that I would take over him, but like, yeah, if you compare him to like the top stars, I don't disagree with Jet. Like, he's like,
he just doesn't deserve all the headache that he brings. Is the point?
That's all I'm saying.
I know, and I agree with you. I think that's a good point.
Especially because he has a track record of tearing teams apart and then getting away with it by being like, "Oh, I'm just so competitive. I'm Kobe, Mamba. Like, I just want the best out of my guys, so I fucking tear them apart." And he's just left. I mean, the franchises have recovered. Obviously, Minnesota, Chicago, whatever. Minnesota and Philly are obviously still like contenders. But this guy just walks into teams and fucking rips them apart.
Yeah, it's tough. He
does. He fucking does. All right, let's move on here. Real quick. The Pro Bowl might be the worst watch you could possibly. I'd rather watch.
Did you watch it?
Daytime TV. It is the worst thing you could possibly put on the television.
I didn't even know it was on until I saw.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, I didn't watch a second.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, it is as bad as it gets.
It was in Orlando, too.
Once they left Hawaii.
The Jensen Custis.
Pro Bowl belongs in Hawaii, dude. All right?
Don't tell Jensen that.
And it belongs after this fucking season like they used to.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing it the week before the Super Bowl.
And people should not be wearing flags, dude. And you know what? You know what I do like, though? My favorite thing about the Pro Bowl is the fucking floppy hats everybody wears. I love that shit. It's the best. They wear it in-game.
And they're just still touting Peyton Manning out there as if he's coaching the team, as if he's not just a stunt to get more people to watch. It's a tough watch, man.
But how many All-Star games are actually good? Like, the Pro Bowl sucks. The NBA All-Star game's a joke. The NHL might be the only one.
NBA used to be
the best. Yeah,
and then
the skills competition for the NBA is still enjoyable.
But the game too used to be.
The game was electric too.
The game now, no one plays defense. There's like 500 points.
That was the point. But now, not only does nobody play defense, nobody wants to play offense either because everybody's just like fucking around. I will
actually say the MLB is probably the only league that got it right, where they made the MLB All-Star game worthy of something, that whoever wins gets an extra game in the World Series.
They took that away. Yeah. They took
it away now.
Yeah, and also because I think a lot of people liked it. I think a lot of people hated it because it's not really a fair thing in my opinion.
Well, at least it made people take the.
In some ways, it was though.
I'll tell you what, the home run derby used to be must-watch TV.
Oh yeah,
when it was like Sammy Sosa and fucking Josh Hamilton. Remember when he hit 8,000 home runs in Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then like everything else, it just petered out.
I saw a TikTok. It was like the MLB home run derby, and it was like Garcia Parra, and then it was like Andrew Jones. It was like all these guys, their averages were like almost 400, like every one of them with like 30, 40 home runs. It was unbelievable.
Once you got 9 outs, they bring out like a gold ball. You'd be like hitting a home run for somebody's mortgage or some shit. It was unreal. It was unreal.
Hey, a batting average used to mean something. Now you can bat 200 and be batting fourth in the lineup. Dude.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Remember Ichiro's batting average was like 370.
Oh, the
yeah.
Pop, you remember
all singles.
Remember when?
It doesn't matter. Get on base.
Torrey Hunter robbed Barry Bonds in the All-Star game in the first inning. It's like a crazy moment. Do you remember that?
What happened?
It was in Miller. So that was when the All-Star game used to mean something. That was when the fucking players wore the jerseys of their own team. They didn't have fucking AL and NL jerseys, I think. And Torrey Hunter hit a ball or Barry Bonds hit a ball. It was in Miller Park. And Torrey Hunter fucking robbed him in the All-Star game. It was incredible. They like met at like
sports like 10,
like
15, 20 years ago, sports were better. I know that the athletes weren't as good, but I think in terms of like just watching like the competitive nature, watching like the viewership, to me, it was way better.
I think so. A couple of things. I think one is that I agree with that. I think it's just that we were younger. So it just like meant more to us. Like it was everything. But also now there's so much shit going on everywhere in the world that like it does mean a little less, I think. I could be wrong.
I think it used to be better. A big part of it too. I do genuinely believe that it's not just that we were younger. I think it wasn't a 24/7 thing. Now it's like Sports Center and everything is like shoved down your throat 24/7. Sports always like a headline somewhere. And it kind of used to be like the president when Trump was in office, where like you'd kind of forget who the president was for weeks, and then a big speech would happen, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, we have a president. And sports was the same thing. You would kind of forget until the next game. But now it's just this 24/7 media cycle that just like never shuts off. And I think it's hurt it.
Pop, if Luka got traded for fucking AD 15 years ago, people would be talking about it for a month straight. Now it's like, oh, Luka got traded for AD, what the fuck? And then people were like, what's next? Like who, you know?
Remember when a guy would throw a no-hitter, the entire hour of Sports Center would be the whole all about that. Now it's like a headline that's like 2 minutes. It's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got here for big, what's going on with sports. Not a lot happening. So let's move on to who's a problem. Jet, let's start with you this week. Who's a problem?
I'm not prepared. I
have one.
Okay. Joey D, let's start with you. Who's a problem this week?
It's not who, it's what is a problem. And it's this LA, this Hollywood scene, the Grammy scene. You got kids wearing houses on their heads. You got guys parading their wives out ass naked in front of the fucking world. This whole scene has become such a fucking spectacle, such a clown show, bro. And it's like, if this shit happened 20, 30 years ago, you want to talk about that? People would be in an uproar. Now it's just like, oh yeah, that's just who they are. You know, Kanye's a little delusional. This kid's come from a broken home, so now he feels the need to wear a house on his head. These people are fucking living in a different world than the rest of humanity, and they want you to make them feel bad for them or have some reaction to them. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm not going to react. I don't give a fuck. These people are absolutely lost. I don't know if you guys watch that. I have no business. I have no fucking care. I don't care who wins an Oscar. I don't care that suddenly Beyonce is Garth Brooks and winning the best country album, even though she's never been in country her whole life. I'm done with it. I don't care who wins Oscar, Grammys, LA, Hollywood. It's that scene is dead to me.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I agree
absolute
with you
joke and a total problem.
It's a great one.
Some would say that you can pinpoint the exact moment when it all died, and it was when Will Smith slapped that guy, when he slapped Chris Rock. That was the end of it. God. He slapped the fun out of everything. He did. All right, Jed, who's the problem?
You guys disagree, or like, do you not?
I agree
wholeheartedly.
But I can't tell if it's my lack of interest in that whole world or if it's actually not as good as it used to. I guess the same thing with sports. I just have no passion for movies or music or who's winning awards. It seems like a popularity contest more than anything.
I agree, Pop. And I also don't like the fact that like back when you had the best movie award, you knew what movies were going to be in the running. It was like, okay, Titanic's going to be probably winning. You got all these movies that were like highly touted and you knew that they were going to be in the running for Jurassic Park. You're like, okay, these are the movies that are going to be for the best film. Now they got like indie films and like films that I've never even heard of, like in the running for best movie of the year. It's the same thing with the Grammys. It's like there's people who should be winning, and then all of a sudden it's like you don't even hear their name, and some female rapper goes up that to win an award that I've never even heard of. I don't even know a song from her. So I'm not saying that like, oh, we should know, like it should all be so mainstream, but it's like at the same time, I do feel like it's becoming more and more popularity contest, and it's not about like the best genre, the best song, the best movie. It's all just been fucking washed out.
If Beyonce, Taylor Swift, or Rihanna have a record coming out that year, you might as well delay it to next year because they're going to win.
Oh
If
my
winning means
God.
something to you, I mean, they're just automatic to win. And Beyonce proved that. She just put out a country album that I actually think isn't bad, but
Oh
it's
my
crazy. She's
God.
going to win. If she puts out a record, she's
Hey,
going to win.
this ain't Texas. Ain't no
Ain't no
hold 'em.
hold 'em. That's right, Joey D. That's right,
It's the
Pete.
only lyric of any country song I know from her. And
Uh,
she's the best country, award winner, in the whole fucking genre now, apparently.
all right, Jed. Who's the problem this week?
Um, they also overly well, whatever. Don't even get me started on the fucking. It's just it's a lot. But okay, I'll give you one. And I literally only talk about refs on this thing, and I hate being that guy. But now I'm moving on to college basketball refs, and specifically one thing. I love college basketball. There's nothing I love more than a backdoor cut or like a fucking pass and screen away or a 3-2 zone or a 2-3 zone or not calling 5 seconds. And it's beautiful. I love college basketball. Two issues are the ticky-tack fouls, okay? But more specifically, and this goes for the people who gamble and the people who bet, when you get down to the end of the game and there's 8 seconds left and the refs want to go home, have you noticed this, Pete? If the game is out of whack and people they don't call fouls in the last 8 to 10 seconds. So say you got you're trying to cover, you need the team to foul so they can go to the line and make the free throws. They get a rebound. The team starts hacking the shit out of them, and the refs are like, "We're out. We're going home." There's 8 seconds left, so they swallow their whistles. And then after like 5 seconds of these players beating these guys down, they realize they're not getting the call because the refs want to go home, so they back off, and the game ends. And that's
See, I've been on the other end of it. I've been on the other
I
end of it.
understand. I've been on both.
I
ends.
had the other day, I had a game that I could give up 22 points with less than 2 minutes left, and a team was down 9. It wasn't like they were down 5, and they continued to foul they were down 9. They just kept fouling and fouling and fouling. I was like, what are they doing? So I do see what you're saying, but I've been on the other side of it.
Of course.
There needs to be like some kind of rule in place, like to end the game that kind of regulates this shit, because I feel like at this point you almost feel like you're either on the right or wrong side of like somebody who's calling the shots from what the fucking sports gambling line is going to be, and you're either going to get fucked or you're going to win in a way that you shouldn't.
I think the refing and the officiating, no college basketball, like NBA refs, they might be bad, but they stay out of it. College refs are like, they want to be famous, they want to be celebrities, they want to be they like make themselves very known. No one knows what a charge is. No one knows what a block is. Nobody knows what the fuck a hook and hold is. Flagrants are the most
hook and hold is flagrant now.
Of course, but nobody. Every time there's a hook and hold, you don't know if the offensive guy is doing it. You don't know if the defensive guy is doing it. There's everything is arbitrary. There's no rules. It's like the ref just decides what's sometimes you'll see the most blatant flagrant and they go to the booth and they're like common foul. Sometimes you see a common foul, they go to the booth, they're like flagrant 1. There's no consistency at all. If you're going to call everything, call everything. If you're not, then don't. But that's all I got for that. I love college basketball so much, more than the NBA. It's the best.
Would you mind if there was just a consistency between like a ref, like if this is the way this ref, the same with like a home umpire,
yes,
like this is their strike zone.
It's too hard to regulate however many D1 refs you got. Obviously, everybody's different. It's an not impartial, it's an imperfect thing. They're not robots, but
that exists in all sports too, Jed. I mean, you watch the NFL and there's some refs with the pass interference, they just throw the flag no matter what. And then there's other times they're like, oh, they're letting them play today. And it's like,
I just,
all right, well,
it's bad in college basketball. The other thing is the last 2 minutes take 30 minutes. They review every single fucking thing. They can't get the clock right. Or even if they do get the clock right, the refs need to fucking look at it. If a guy goes out of bounds, they need to fucking look at it. It's like, yo, let's clean it up and let's preserve this beautiful game that we have.
Do you guys honestly think, if you just like look at it analytically and assess it, that like 20 years, we keep going 20 years ago, but like before you had all these betting platforms and everybody betting on these games, that the games were not called in the same way because they were not influenced by money that's being wagered. Like the amount of people actually betting on these games was so much smaller in a percentage than it is now. To like now, it's like you just don't know, like if there's a narrative, if there's an underlining script where these guys, there was just like a fucking, wasn't there just an MLB umpire who got fucking like fined or suspended because they found out that they were like throwing calls? Like it makes you wonder. It obviously has to have some kind of impact on, just on the integrity of the game and how the refs are calling it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You see it a little with the NFL, with like the Chiefs and the first downs. I think it's the same thing. I think it's just people now can point to that, even if that's not the case, because I don't think it's any different, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. It's tough with the way that, sports gambling is now. It's just how could you possibly not have one of these refs or one of the, there's just so many of them out there that, let's just put it this way. Shohei Ohtani ain't the only guy out there with a problem. Guy who's involved with these sports.
Well, it was his translator, Pop.
Yeah, translator.
Did you hear the call?
Sure.
He's like, "Hi, I'm Shohei Ohtani." You didn't hear
No.
He was calling the banks pretending to be Shohei.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But wasn't he betting on Shohei's behalf?
No. Well, I don't know that. I know it was Shohei's money.
So sure. Of course. Yeah. Well, anyway. All right. My problem this week, I'll just keep it quick. It's, have you guys ever tried to get Wi-Fi put in a place before? Have you ever done that before? Because it's a real fucking headache. You get on the phone with someone, it's like, yeah, we got Fios there. Of course, we'll have a guy right out to you. The guy comes, he's like, oh, no. You've only ever had Xfinity here. He starts drilling holes. He's got to go in the basement. He's here for 2 hours. He's drinking my coffee. He's spending the whole day with me just so I can get fucking Wi-Fi in here because only Comcast has been here before. It's a racket. It's the person on the phone should be able to know, hey, we don't have any service there. Why don't you call Comcast so my guy's not drilling holes through the whole goddamn house?
Looks like you got a good connection going there, though, Pop.
It's a problem.
You look crystal clear.
He finished this morning. We had coffee, we had breakfast, and he went on his merry way.
That's a great.
He had his way with you, and then he left in the morning.
Very right.
He spent the night. He's the first one in that guest room. He spent the night before I. All right, let's move on to viewer questions here, and then we'll get out of here. First question comes from Jake Kimbra. Is it too soon to start talking about the Masters?
No, I don't think so at all.
It's never too soon, Bob.
Rory won. Let me tell you something. Rory just won, and now I think everybody is like excited to see what he's going to do at the Masters. And I can tell you what, he ain't going to do a thing.
I think he might, Pop.
It's in his head. Once you get in there in your head, that's all that.
But he came as close as he has in a long time to winning a major last year, and then he blew it. Was the U.S. Open against Bryson there at the end?
But even
by the way,
the year before that, he was leading the British by 4 or 5, and Cam Smith beat him. He's there, and he's going to win a major again.
I hope he does. It would be good.
Now he needs the Masters to finish the Grand Slam. Same way Spieth needs the PGA to finish Grand. I would love if they a Grand Slam would be sick, dude.
Let me tell you something. Rory's a whole lot closer than Jordan Spieth is.
Oh yeah, with his ankle and all that.
The Masters
or his wrist. His wrist. He fucked up.
I'm saying he just needs to win the PGA, and then he's fine, And then Justin.
By the way, do you guys know what the odds of Scotty Scheffler to win the Waste Management Open is this week?
What is it, like plus 250?
Like plus 280.
Yeah, he's
to win the tournament.
He's won it. I think the last he didn't.
Well, he almost won last year. He lost
last year, and I think he won the year before, and maybe the year before that. I could be wrong.
It's a ball strikers tournament.
Are you gonna bet on him, Joe?
I don't think. I think that's just such a shitty odd when you like for somebody to win. That's like crazy. I think the Foreplay pod guys were saying that the play that we're all going to tail on is Sahith Theegala top 10.
He's amazing.
Because apparently he takes his tournament very serious, and like he's actually one of like the favorites to win it all. Like he's not a favorite like compared to Scheffler, but he's up there. And like to go top 10, it was like plus 330 or plus 340. So I think I think that might be the play that I put in. But
that tournament's so much fun, man. It's
I wish you guys were here, even for a day and a half.
You're leaving. You're only going to be there for one day of the tourney. It's just it seems like the whole Arizona is at that thing. Like nobody goes to work.
All the United States is at this thing. It feels like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, to answer your question, it's not too early to talk Masters. In fact, Masters is going to be here before you know it. It's going to be awesome.
Are you gonna get fucking hammered at this thing, Joe?
Well, I'm on pills, so for my medication, so it's not gonna like for my mouth, so like it's not gonna take much for me to get a little wonky.
What are you on like pain meds for you? Like,
I got ibuprofen and I got another set of medication because I can't. I've still got stitches all in. I had another procedure done, Pop, last
no, I
week.
know, but I didn't know you were on pain meds for it. For the still, like I thought you'd be okay by now. But
Yeah, they
how
sliced
are
me
you doing
open
with the
like a
eating? Are
steak.
you eating like real food yet, or are you still kind of like
Yeah, I
smoothies and
mean,
stuff?
I'm able to eat now. Yeah,
Okay, all right, okay, that's good. All right,
it's gonna
next
take a whole
question
lot
comes
more than
from
a couple stitches to get me to stop eating, Pop. Let me tell you
sure,
how much.
sure.
I'm
Sure.
a boy who likes his food.
Next question comes from Sean Huckabee. Okay, long,
Oh,
The
Mr.
answer is
yeah.
yes.
Huckabee.
The answer is yes.
Long time, first time. Everyone remembers their biggest hit and worst beat parlays. What's yours?
Oh
Oh,
man, dude.
man.
I can give you a good one, like a winner. Okay, this was when I was in deep, dude. I was
Oh.
4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe. It was Christmas Day, and it was some shitty ass college basketball game. It was like UW Wilmette or something against like Birmingham Southern.
Oh,
Okay, it was
man.
some bullshit. And it was a first half. This is when I just used to like look at it and be like, hey, over under, I don't give a fuck. It was like a first half over under. I think it was like 60. Say it was 60. And it was losing the whole way. It was back and forth, whatever. End of the first half, I'm chasing like 5 points with like no time left. Guy goes up, gets an and one. So he's going to make some garbage time fucking free throws that aren't going to matter. The coach on the other team stacks two technicals in a row because he was about the
Oh,
call. So I got the bucket, the and one, and four free throws. Covered the first half over, and that was it.
wow.
That was
Well, Jet, we
that's
had
one of
one
bad
this
stories.
we had one this year. I had one with Arizona. They hit a fucking half court shot as a buzzer beater to
Yeah,
force overtime
yeah.
in a game against who was it? It was Illinois State or no,
Iowa State.
Iowa State. And then they won, they covered the spread and they won the money. I hit everything.
I've
That
had
was a big one.
too many bad beats to count. I don't even know where I would begin. It's all
Is
like the
there's
thing with
got to be one that like
well, yeah, but the
really
bad beats all
I
mush
tried I
together.
tried to
The
try to
good
take it out
beats,
of my
the good beats you remember individually. The bad beats all mush together. It's all just chaos. I'm trying to. I'm
There was
trying.
one that we had one time, me, Mikey, and Bob. We had a back when we were like years ago, we were with Prize Picks, and we needed one. We had Derek Carr rushing yards, and we needed like another fucking 5 yards, and we would have hit a 6 for 6 parlay to hit everything. And it was like one of the last plays of the game, and he starts scrambling to run for it, and we're like, "Oh my God, he's gonna hit!" And there's no one near him, but there's a guy like 3 yards away, and he slides like half a yard short and we lost.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God, man. It was awful.
How
It was
about this,
awful."
Bob? I had Luka Doncic to play one more game with the Mavs. Honestly, it's
It's a
just
good question. I
I
just
think
would
I
need
had the
to.
Bears. I definitely had the Bears in that double doink game.
Oh
did you?
no.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. It
Who
was
who
all
was that?
Cody
Was
Who
that
Parkey.
gets
it
the
was Cody
Eagles?
Parkey? That's
Cody
no, I know,
Parkey.
but I was thinking, was it Cody Parkey? Yeah,
Oh,
who then
yeah.
became a Bear, right?
I didn't. Well, he was a Bear at the
He
time.
was a Bear. He missed.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah. But he
missed
was
for
also an Eagle
Chicago.
too.
Did
Yeah,
you? I didn't know you at the time during that game, but we were mortal enemies for that afternoon. I guess.
sure.
How was
Killed
that
him,
for?
killed them all,
How
I
was
guess.
that for the Phillies?
That was great. That was a good
Yeah.
time. But
You you lost the next week. Alshon Jeffrey dropped the
I'll
ball.
tell you one that I had bad this year.
sure did.
I had, you talk about baseball. I had the Milwaukee Brewers against the New York Mets, and fucking Alonso hit a bloody grand slam.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking awful. It was like the best closer in baseball come out. I'm like, this thing's a wrap. And then he like walked the first guy. Then the next guy got a single. And then there's another guy who's either like a wild pitch or something. So they load the bases. And there's 2 outs. I'm like, okay, Alonso has not been playing well all year. Like, just get him out and we're good. And this guy hits a fucking grand slam. And I was just like reeling. That was a bad one.
I had Michigan minus 50,000 against Appalachian State. I don't even remember. I was like a child.
We had a
Oh,
pretty good one, though. For me, at least, I had a number of units on it. My Poppy units. I don't know what that is compared to you guys.
yeah.
Poppy units, it was a lot. I had 2 or 3 on it. Jet and I, we bet an Alabama game first half. And do you remember this? It was like a year and a half ago, and it was looking great. And then they threw a pick, and we were fucked. There was like 2 seconds left, and then they threw a pick six, and the guy ran it all the way back.
That wasn't Bama. That was Jets Dolphins on Thanksgiving Friday, day after Thanksgiving.
Was it? I thought it was Alabama. Oh, we had a bet on
Jets,
Alabama that day too, then, or the day before.
Well, yeah, because that was the best weekend. It was college football. It was like the first game on Amazon Prime, and we thought we were done. And they threw the last play a pick six from the end zone. Yeah, it was Dolphins. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Yeah,
we had a
sure
great
was
day.
Dolphins.
That was a fun day.
That was a good day.
Jet remembers the time. You remember what he had for lunch?
Well, I was in a dark place that day, but yeah.
He was huddled up in a corner of the room somewhere.
Turn the tide.
All right, let's keep it on this. This next one comes from Captain Carso. After football is over, what sports do you really start to dial into for viewing and gambling? Mainly gambling.
College basketball for sure. I mean, we're at this point, we're like a month removed from March Madness. It's really like you got every Tuesday now, there's just a bonanza of games. I think it's without a question. I think hockey will start after March Madness. I start watching hockey, but more so after the All-Star break, I'll really get into it. But college basketball, to me, it's not even close.
Yeah, tell you what really starts to pick up is table tennis. Table tennis really starts to heat up for gambling purposes.
Oh, you pink? You want a ping pop? The only other one would be golf. I mean, obviously, golf really gets into and then when you get in the summer and it's just baseball and golf, it's the best. But yeah, college basketball is locked now. Every day there's so many games.
Oh, it's great.
There aren't Olympics this year, but are you a big Olympic bettor? Do you bet on like sprinting or anything like that, or curling?
Absolutely not. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I tell you what I do like, which only comes every 2 or 4 years. Well, I guess every 2 years or 2 years is soccer. If you have the World Cup or Euro Cup, that's always fun. Yeah. I'll always dabble in that.
Sure. All right, one more and then we'll get out of here. This is from Sean Anderson. Fuck, marry, kill. Future bets, straight bets, and parlay bets.
Is there a live betting option on there?
Sure isn't. Oh yeah, you're gonna marry that
future straight and parlays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge future betting guy. Like now I've hit a couple recently, but I'm not. I don't do that too much. So I would kill the future bets. I would probably marry straight bets, and then parlays I would fuck with.
I'm the exact same.
Because I just think like your best. It's so hard to win at all. So you're like your best chance is taking just a straight bet. You know, as soon as you start dabbling in multiple games or like a winner of a tournament, I mean, you're really like putting yourself at a disadvantage because the likeliness that you're going to hit is so small that most of the time you're just going to donate. And then when you do end up winning, you're just winning back all the money that you lost the 20 times before when you bet on the winner. So to me, I think the straight bet, I do think, as Jet mentioned, that the live betting is probably the best advantage
now he's on board. All of a sudden,
I don't do it a lot. I don't do it a lot, but I'm saying that
years pop of hammering it into this guy, and now he's hitting me up about live betting.
I know. I'm just saying. I think maybe not even a live bet, but like a second half. Or like, because you get to watch the game script. That does help immensely because you don't know if a player is going to go down or if what's going to happen. Even in basketball, like sometimes you get the best player on the team has like 3-4 fouls. It changes the entire course of the game. So in that sense, I will agree with Jet, reluctantly, but I will agree with him in the sense that you have the most understanding and comprehension of like where you stand in that game. Or sometimes you just do the eyeball test. Like once a game starts, like the team just looks like trash. And you're like, yo, they just do not have it. Like, I don't care what their record is. Like, they suck. Like, they don't have it today. So I think that that's probably your best opportunity. But aside from that, I would stick with the straight bet.
Or you can see, like, if you like a team or you don't like a team, you're watching the game, they're going down, but they're getting good looks. They're just missing a couple shots in the first half. And they're going to pick it up. And then that's a perfect time to go live on them, and you get them at better odds. I'm telling you, and I don't even want to preach it too much because I don't want the world to get a hold of this, and then it gets shut down worldwide.
Fucking King Midas's picks over here.
I know. Let's not. You still have a job. You haven't retired off this brilliant theory.
I'm obviously kidding a little bit, but like I am wary. Like I don't know. It's a fun little thing.
But there's a reason why a lot of these it depends on where you're betting, but like the live betting, they cap you because there is such an advantage. Unless you're doing it so often, then they give you a little extra change to throw around in the live betting. But I'm capped. I'm capped.
I don't think they view it as an advantage. It's strictly numbers based. Like, I think they don't view it as an advantage at all.
I think they totally do. Then why am I capped there unlike I am when I just put a straight bet an hour before a game?
You don't have to be capped. It's just capped. Let me tell you something, Pop.
But what's
I will say this too. The other thing is that trying to place a live wager sometimes is the biggest pain in the ass because the line
changes
every fucking 2 seconds, and you're trying to get something, and it's like you can't secure what you want to get. Like, especially if your buddy's like, "Oh, I just got these guys at +7," and then you look, and you're like, "There's no chance I'm going to get that." Like, they just made a 3. Like, there's no way I'm getting +7. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the bitch of it.
That's great.
Yeah, but that's also the thrill of it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The only thing Jet likes better than hitting a bet is getting it in, like getting that bet in at the line that he likes. Oh, it's going to move. It's going to move +7 right now. Get it now. It's a thrilling time. You also don't like the future bets either because it's just you like the instant gratification of knowing that day whether you won or whether you lost. You don't want to wait 2 months.
This guy likes is to bet whoever is down 2 strokes going into the Sunday of a final golf tournament, who's a notorious good golfer, to come up and win the whole thing. That's the only future bet this guy likes.
It's not even a future bet. Golf is
it technically is.
I literally think golf is very strange because. And I'm probably wrong. And I think if you asked a pro and they really sat there and thought about it, if they'd rather start a final round with a 1-shot lead, say it's 2 guys, would you rather start with a 1-shot lead or 1 shot back? I'm sure this sounds absurd. I would almost choose 1 shot back because the guy who is leading and has 18 holes is immediately in this pressure situation that you are not in if you're 1 back. And consistently, week after week, the guy in first place falters early. I'm telling you, it happens every week. So that's a little nugget.
It's not a bad.
No, it's not. It's not.
But I will say, when it comes to golf, Tick, you know what I like to do? I like to do the matchups. The matchups are the most fun because you know what? But the problem is, the matchups is that the coverage, the TV coverage is so pathetically fucking dispersed.
Well, what you got to do is you got to go to ESPN Plus. You got to see who they're highlighting, and then you can even do hole to hole, like hole 14.
Pop used to do single each hole.
I did. I loved that shit.
In your darkest days.
That was when I had nothing to do. I mean, that's a lot of fun. You really need to dedicate your time. If you have stuff to do, it's no fun. All right, boys. Go Eagles. Can we all agree on that before we get out of here?
Eagles.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds. Go Birds.
I want a happy pop going into the next year, like a Super Bowl winner. I want that for you.
This guy, they'll win the Super Bowl and he'll find something they did wrong and never going to win another one. It's like,
Pop, would you go to the parade if they won?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, of course. Of course I'm going to go to the parade.
Just asking.
Would you fly out for the parade? Would you come to the parade with me?
Absolutely not.
Would you go to the
But that'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if it wasn't cold and I could get some golf out because there's some good golf in Philly, I would. But
just enjoying a parade with your friend isn't enough. You got to get some golf in.
I'm not an Eagles fan.
Okay, well, Jet, you're a train ride away. Would you come down?
Don't think.
Oh yeah, he's close.
He's talking to me. I'm a train ride away.
You're gonna be in New York.
You're gonna be in New York.
Oh, true. Yeah, but I'm. Yeah, I didn't go to New York to come to Philly. Like,
It's a parade. It's a party. It's going to be fun.
Pop, are they greasing the poles? I want to see you on a pole.
Oh,
Oh,
Pop.
I'll get on a pole.
I just want to see Pop like waving his shirt on a pole. Like, we
The
won
last- let me tell
but
you.
we still fucking suck.
The last thing that this man's back needs is to be climbing a grease pole.
And I'm just up there holding a camera too, just like fucking zooming
You know
in.
what else? Pop, this guy Gilly the Kid from Barstool.
Oh,
I know he's the biggest Philly guy ever, but he's literally he's the king of Philly.
I guess
like,
so. I don't know when it happened.
Where did this come from?
He was in the locker room,
I
like
know,
dapping
it's
up the guys.
incredible.
I find him to be so cringy too.
Pop, I need Pop. I want to look at post game and see Pop in the locker room.
I know, that would be
dapping
tremendous.
people up.
Well, you know the way in is Joe's got to hook up the Saquon thing. That's my way in.
What is the hookup though? It's get him on the show, or
Well, like he knows Saquon. That's how I get into the locker room.
Well, we need
does a meet
Saquon
and
to
greet.
win.
get Saquon on the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need Saquon to win Super Bowl, maybe MVP, and then we bring him on Bob to Sports.
Oh.
We do or we could do it like an
That'd be
Eagles thing because Kenny Pickett. We could do Kenny Pickett. We could do Saquon, and we could do maybe another guy, and then do Bob to Sports versus Super Bowl champions, and then Pop, you get your
That'd be
you
great.
get your connection.
Pop, would you cream yourself out there? Because we were out there with Rizzo. We were out there with Rizzo, and I held it in, dude. I didn't say I was.
He dapped you up hard.
He did, and he said he goes, "Where's the mustache?" And I was like, "God damn! Like this guy's legit."
Was he not great?
He was great, but I didn't. I remained as professional as I could, and I listen. I've got a lot of questions for him about that Game 7 specifically.
We got to go golf,
but I also know that we'll probably film with him again. We're gonna run into him again, and I'll be able to ask my question. I didn't want the first time we filmed with him to be like, "What the fuck's going on with this guy?" You know?
Yo, by the way, he
that.
is as big in a good way as a house. This guy is stocky as hell, dude. Yeah. That guy could have been a linebacker. He's incredible. It was unbelievable. Funny guy.
Yeah.
He was funny. All right, guys. Go Birds. Another fun episode. Enjoy New York. Enjoy the Waste Management, Joe. And we will see everybody next week after the Super Bowl.